Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. This is where we round up all the talking points from social media, and we've got a big one here to do with WWE ID, right? So let's kind of have a little walk. So breaking, WWE ID championships will be open to all independent wrestlers. Once the champions are crowned, the titles will be defended at various independent events. So as soon as we've crowned the first WWE ID champs, then any indie talent can win the titles. If a non-WWE ID prospect wins the title, they will get a WWE ID contract. The WWE ID title tournament begins in Las Vegas during WrestleMania week with 2 events. So GCW will present one on April 16th. FSW Vegas will do the other one on April 18th. Opening round will be double elimination, 2 losses, and you're out. All of the current WWE ID prospects are in the tournament. So they're really building to something really big here about this tournament to try and crown the first WWE ID champions. I'm guessing those champions will appear on Evolve. We'll bring them in because ID talent comes into Evolve. So I'm guessing the titles will be defended on Evolve, but they will also be defended at independent shows as well. So quite a bit to get your head around there, but worth knowing because we are going to be crowning some new champions, some WWE ID champions that will then go out and defend those belts on the indie scene. So, yeah, interesting. Very interesting. That's, you can see the belts there. We've seen it before. That was posted back on February 18th. But this update about the tournaments, that was only earlier today. And Hieronymus Drake's like, oh, that's spicy. Hieronymus Drake, thank you. Talking of spicy, here's WWE Ethan. So, per Fightful, Cathy Kelley has recently signed a Legends deal. Now, don't know what that's going to mean. It means she's an ambassador. I wonder if it means she'll make some appearances, maybe at Evolution. I wonder if she will be at WWE Worlds. I'm guessing it means Mattel can make another Cathy Kelley figure. But I don't know really the extent of how we're going to use Cathy Kelley. But, you know, interesting. It's always good to hear of new legends signing Legends deals. Las Vegas, Matt, shout out to you. I got tagged in this loads. Carlito, just 9 hours ago, said, thank you, everyone, for your thoughts and prayers. My funeral service is scheduled for Friday. My family is asking for privacy during this painful time. Muchas gracias. I think a few people looked at that and got a bit confused. Like, oh my God, has he lost a family member? He's actually talking about himself because obviously he got speared by Bron Breakker. He got hashtag broken in half. And so he's joking about his own funeral service this Friday. So there we go. But I did see some people getting in touch a little bit confused over this. But Carlito just having a little bit of fun following Raw. Wrestling's biggest fan, shout out to you. Actually don't know what that is. Is that the Big E news? Yes, we haven't quite got to that yet, so we'll get to it. But Wrestling's biggest fan, thank you. Out of Context Wrestling has posted this. This is a real glimpse at the construction of the WrestleMania staging. So we're seeing, I think, barricades coming out and maybe the staging starting to be constructed. I actually have not looked through this video, so I don't know quite how much information is in here. This person's really dropping themselves in it because I think you should be able to quite easily tell who this person was that was recorded. So they've kind of dropped themselves a little bit in it. I don't know that WWE are appreciative of these kinds of videos. To be honest with you, there's not a great deal, is there? I mean, this is literally a video of us watching some lorries being unloaded. But if you're a hardcore fan like me, then this is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. This is what we wait for. Literally anything to do with WrestleMania is absolutely fine. So can we see any letters? Can we see anything in the back of the truck? Can't this guy show us what's in the back of his truck? As all this stuff's being unloaded. So there we go. That is the freshest, very latest as to what's actually going down inside Allegiant Stadium. Triple H said a quick trip to New York to see Jimmy Fallon We talked WrestleMania, Hall of Fame, and the history of terrorizing. That was obviously Triple H's old gimmick, pre-WWE, terrorizing. They did actually do a terrorizing shirt as well on WWE Shop ages ago. So, yeah, he was on Jimmy Fallon. I've not seen any clips from that, though. Triple H's thought said, in a business filled with inflated egos, Charlotte, and entitled babies, maybe Charlotte again, be a Chelsea Green. So here, check this out, what Chelsea said.
Let's just take whatever we're given, even if it's 2 seconds on TV or 5 seconds in a Rumble, and make it a moment. Because that 5 seconds, I could have been totally, annoyed over that. But why would I when I knew I could come to the back and ask the digital team to do a segment on me that I knew people would repost? I can tweet about it. I can tell everyone that I made history and turn it into something funny. There's just so much you can do with this job that we're given.
I mean, that is great, actually. That is bang on the money, isn't it? That is it. When we talk about maximizing your minutes, when we talk about pushing yourself and not just accepting what you're given, I mean, that is it described in detail, and that is what Chelsea does. The final thing we've got in this folder, actually, Tony Hinchcliffe is trending now, right? And that's because as soon as I heard that line about Big E during the watch-along, I said that's going to divide opinion. I can't remember if I said it in a review or in an unseen, but as soon as it catches your ear, you're like, that's not the kind of thing that you hear on Raw. And I didn't want to be a stick in the mud over it, but I knew that that was not going to land with wrestling fans, and so it has proven, right? I mean, here, this was 20 hours ago. What Tony Hinchcliffe said about Big E was tasteless. There's nothing funny about a career-ending injury that could have been much worse. Plenty of other low-hanging fruit to joke about, but he targets one of the nicest dudes ever who's not even there. And actually, 8,000 views and lots of other comments very similar. It's one of those, I mean, Big E has been interviewed about it, and his opinion on it is, look, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't believe he knew about it. He's like, look, it's been signed off. I really just want people to have a good time. I really don't want to be involved. I've got to admit, though, the vibe that this interview gives is, well, if I was to tell you how I felt, I wasn't thrilled, right? It's kind of that sort of feeling. He doesn't say that. He's really just doing whatever he can to distance himself from it, but he certainly doesn't come out and go, yeah, I thought it was hilarious. No, I thought it was a brilliant line. Yeah, no, I thought it was awesome. None of that. It's like, yeah, I don't really want, whatever, I just want people to have fun, and, he's really just going, So I think people have kind of picked up the vibe that, he's not come out and said, yeah, it's brilliant, it was fine, I loved it, I laughed. And I think people are like, oh, if he was maybe not as nice a person, if he maybe wasn't in the kind of position he's in, which is like being an ambassador for the company. And obviously it doesn't benefit the company, Big E coming out saying, no, I hated that line because ticket sales would suffer and that would make his life, harder. So instead he's just gone, yeah, no, I don't want anything to do with it. But I think people have read between that and gone, oh, I don't think Big E liked it, I don't think Big E liked it. And so now I'm starting to see Tony Hinchcliffe starting to rise up in the trends. One of the other trending topics is obviously Booker T. We have kind of briefly touched on that in previous unseens. And what we've kind of touched on is the fact that there was an interview that Swerve did with Vlad TV talking about kind of representation and talking about Booker T and a few incidents that have happened in the past in WWE. And Booker responded to those, and there's now become beef between Swerve and Booker T. Booker T, in all fairness, is like, I don't want anything to do with it. I've said my piece, I'm moving on. But apparently after Dynasty, Swerve, at the end of the show, once the broadcast had ended, was in the ring talking to the crowd, and he said F Booker T at the end. And that's now obviously sparked everything up again. So here's the NXT crowds. F you, Swerve, is what they're chanting. I mean, look, Booker's smiling there. I don't know that he's smiling because of what the crowd are saying, right? There was another one here, though. Swerve, we coming for you, right?
Swerve, we coming for you. Swerve, we coming for you.
And this is as Booker is coming out.
For you. Swerve, we coming 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 for you.
Do you know what? I look at that crowd and I'm like, God, it looks like a real community, that crowd. It really feels like those are people that probably go to some of the live events, local live events. They're probably people that are in the crowd for NXT on a regular basis. I've said before, if I lived in Florida, I would love to regularly go to NXT live events. I would love to go to NXT tapings. I would try and get into the Evolve tapings. I think if you're a fan, to kind of get and be a part of the WWE kind of world and find a way of kind of being a part of it on a semi-regular basis. Like, you know, I think a lot of fans would love that. You don't really get that chance on the main roster because they're constantly moving around. Whereas with NXT, it's always in Orlando. Well, obviously the takeover shows and whatever, they occasionally step away now, but 99% it's in Orlando. Certainly the live shows, you know, the local live events in Tampa and Jacksonville and wherever. So I would take advantage of that if I was in Florida. And I feel like I get that vibe from that crowd. I think a lot of them go again and again and again. And I get it. I think I would be one of them. Right, Ricky Saints is a man of his words. Las Vegas Matt said, I think NXT might have been taped. I think it was live. I just think they missed it. The reason why Las Vegas Matt is questioning that is because the side plates still say Shawn Spears. It's really hard to see here. But it was something that we did pick up during the watch along as well. Oh, it's really hard to make it out. But it does say Shawn Spears. I wonder if there's like a really better angle. If we can... Oh, could that be it? Oh, it's close to being it. It's really close to it being it. But I assure you, it does say Shawn Spears. Honestly, it might be one of those where he has literally just grabbed the belt. They've not changed the side plates. Maybe they've not got round to making them. Perhaps it wasn't until he was about to walk out they realised, oh my God, we didn't do that, you know? But yeah, I assure you, even if we can't quite see it, they do say Shawn Spears. What I'll try and do is find a picture that's definitely worthy of being on the thumbnail. So I'll try and find a better image and put it in the thumbnail. Oh, this was unfortunate. So Jordan against the ropes. Las Vegas Matt said, that's me tripping over my dog toys that were spread all over the living room floor. It is, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? She's tried to get through. She's just got caught on it, and down she went, really. She didn't really get anything on Jada there. Jordan, no! Wrestler here said, bro, are you okay? Jordynne Grace was like, no, dummy, I'm dead. So there we go. That's Jordan on it. I think she said something else like, let's click on this because I think there was another comment. Oh, y'all MFers have never seen a real suicide dive. I mean, that was a real suicide dive because this woman basically committed suicide as she went through the rope and crashed onto the floor. So there we go. So yeah, a bit unfortunate. Right, just announced Stephanie will defend the NXT Women's Championship against Giulia, Jordynne Grace, and Jada Parker. So fatal four-way. Obviously, we had Giulia return. We'll have a look at that later. Larry, thank you. Yeah, we were talking about this ref. So we see her a lot on Evolve, but we don't see her on NXT very much. And I made the comment, I'm sure she used to be a boxer. I actually thought she was a bare knuckle boxer. But clearly not. But she was a boxer. So this is her right here. And she is now a referee for WWE. We see her in Evolve a lot, but not on NXT very much. But she was on the show this week. So Johnny, thank you. Right, yeah, this was very confusing. I can understand why Corey was confused. 1, 2... It was a real botch week this week. People in the chat were saying apparently someone banged on the ring. I don't know if it was Brooks Jensen, but someone banged, and I think Izzy thought that was the one. So when she heard the ref go 2, 3, she thought, that's it, I've won. But actually it wasn't 2, 3, it was 1, 2. We'll play it again because it's a really funny botch. So here she plants her, right? Referee, 1, 2. Ugh. Now, when she hits that 3, is any part of Izzy... Nah, man. I mean, can you make the argument that Izzy is pinning Ren? Look, the 3 has not been counted. Right now, Ren is just lying on her back, but is she being pinned? I don't think you can make the argument that she is. I don't think that the feet, even if they are touching the undersides of the legs, I don't know that that can count as a legal pin. And actually, Corey Graves' initial reaction was no, as if like, no, she's not. So she celebrates, thinking it's a 3, but look, the ref still has not counted that 3. I really want to know if the moment the hand hits, because I am a nerd. I mean, look, that hand is not down yet. That hand is still moving. That hand has not contacted the mat yet. And it looks like she's just completely off Ren there. She hasn't even got her feet on her. Yeah, it's just not a 3. It's just not a 3. If I'm Ren, I would be interested in trying to use that as an argument and seeing if I can get myself into the ladder match that way, you know? Right, just like Fraxiom, Fatal Influence is fine. So, yeah, Fatal Influence having a few issues on the show tonight. There's JC Jane. It's fine. This will be fine. Here, look, new Tron for Fraxiom. We did pick up on this during the watch-along. Fraxiom's really interesting because they've been called Fraxiom by the dirt sheets, by the fans, but I don't know that WWE have been referring to them as Fraxiom. It's just sort of a name that they've had. And I don't know why we've not embraced it, but if you have a look at when they put the name up, they don't put up Fraxiom. They always put Nathan Frazier and Axiom as 2 separate names. So to actually see Fraxiom on a screen like this grabbed my attention. And also, like, the colours and the theming of it definitely was not something I felt I had seen before. And it looks like it is a neutron. And Nathan Frazier said, I popped huge for this. What a match as well against Swipe Right. Really good. Really entertaining. Here, Francesca said, Giulia really digging that boot in. She is as well. Look at that. Right on the side of Stephanie's head. So this is seemingly a heel, more vicious Giulia than what we've seen before. So, yeah, Carl, thank you. I'm here for that. B, shout out to you. So Stevie has got this jacket on, and there's a lovely image here of Pretty Deadly. I don't know when this was from, but it was not the same show, and they are wearing the same jacket, so I'm guessing that might be the same jacket here, unless she's got her own and they all had the same jacket. I'm not sure. But obviously she is married to Kit Wilson. So, yeah, they are in a relationship, so it makes sense they have matching jackets. So that was just kind of cool. We looked at that. I didn't even notice this. I didn't even notice. What? He even laughs about it. What a goof. Recovery of the century. Yeah, I'm down for that. Just make a joke out of it. Why not? It's going to look a hell of a lot worse if you, like, act all annoyed about it. You might as well just go, oh, God, and laugh about it. That's great. That's great. Street Profits on NXT. Ham Walker said this is the advice we needed to hear. And Shawn Michaels said an impressive showing from Swipe Right against the NXT Tag Champs. They're quickly becoming a team to watch on Evolve. Keep grinding, boys. So there we go. So Shawn Michaels with some words for Swipe Right. Let's have a look in this Raw folder. So yeah, look at Io with her drop kick right in the back of Rhea. That's a great shot. She got a really good. Obviously, we saw yesterday how hard she knocked Rhea into Bianca. So Wrestle Night, thank you. Johnny, shout out to you. Yeah, I didn't notice the WWE logos. Looks like I'm putting my finger. Look at that. Oh my God. Looks like I'm putting my finger in his trunks, which is horrific, but it's the side, so it doesn't matter. But look at that. Oh my God, I could have so much fun with that. Yeah, so he's got the WWE logo on his side of his trunks and on his elbow pads. To be honest, the post wasn't worth it, but it was worth it for that. Love that for me. Right, looks like CM Punk has got a new tag partner in BERT KREISCHER. So this, I think, was after the show, hitting a pair of choke slams after Raw on Netflix after the show went off air. There is BERT KREISCHER. There's A-Town down, belts off. Anyone else finding this quite sexy? There's Punk. Right, there's BERT KREISCHER. Oh, shot coming in. Is he delivering some choke slams? Get in there, big man. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, my God. I love this. I feel this is like flipping creator wrestler. I feel like I'm watching 2K25 in real life. This is like amazing 2K25 graphics, isn't it? So there we go. A couple of choke slams. Lyra Valkyria, something, Wrestlemania, right? So Lyra talking to Bayley, like, come on, let's get on the same page. You and me, we can go after the tag titles at WrestleMania. Bayley responded, you're annoying. You're annoying. So I think there's a new friendship that's blossoming there, to be honest. Larry, shout out to you. So look at that. Dominic and the drummer from Metallica. Isn't he called? Yeah, Lars Ulrich. That's amazing, isn't it? Separated from birth. Look how close that is. That is kind of scary, actually. That is kind of scary. Oh, and we've only got one other thing. That's a shame. Kurt Angle basically said, told a story that before his match with Shawn came up to him and went, I just want you to know I'm not afraid to fight you. I'm not afraid to fight you. I'm not afraid for us to have a match. And Kurt was like, what? What are you on about? And Shawn was like, just no. Yeah, just no. And apparently he found out that Shawn was actually a bit worried that if Kurt was going to try and embarrass him, and that if Kurt was going to make it an actual wrestling match, that, like, what would Shawn be able to do? You know, Kurt's one of the best wrestlers, actual, real wrestlers. And if he wanted to ragdoll Shawn around, he could. And so I don't know if people got in Shawn's ear and wound him up, but Shawn felt it necessary to go up to Kurt and go, just so you know, I'm not afraid of you. If we're going to fight, I'm ready to fight, right? And Kurt's like, dude, I'm a professional. Like, you're going to be okay. So, yeah, it was a good little story, that. Let's go over to other. Have we got much in here? Oh, this was a surprise. Ric Flair has said he won't be able to attend WrestleMania due to being under contract with AEW, but he absolutely would be there if that wasn't the case. So that's kind of surprising because he'd made a lot of noise about being there. Oh, I'm going to be there. And now it turns out he can't because he's under contract with AEW. Plus also, is he? I didn't know he was under contract with AEW. I know that he'd been doing the wooings thing, but I thought that had all come to an end. So, don't know. Seems like he won't be there. I mean, to be honest, no great loss, but, you know. Wrestle Nights, this is a beautiful story. Here's Joaquin Wilde, right? And honestly, when it comes to stuff like this, I'm like, yeah, nah. Soppy stuff. That's, oh my God, I'm so fortunate to be in WWE, blah, blah, blah. You know, you see that quite often. So I was like, yeah, nah. But, check this. I never really knew my father. Right before he died, he recorded himself talking on cassette tapes. It was at this point I was like, oh yeah, this has to go in. It was at this point here that I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's got to go in. Those tapes basically was him saying goodbye and sorry to each of his kids, apologizing for the difficult lives we were going to live because we would all grow up without a father. I never listened to the tapes, but I always knew they existed. Also had no clue where my mum had put them after so many years. My brother found them, so I got a digital cassette player. I threw the audio in Ableton to clean it up, and for the first time in my life, I was able to hear my dad's voice and listen to him speak directly to me. Yeah, Shiz was super sad, and I cried a lot. He gave me some fatherly advice, though. One thing he said to me was, no matter what I'm doing, don't half-ass it and always give 100% because people will respect you for that. For some reason, that simple piece of advice resonated and it made me think about wrestling. Because the reality is, I don't get to have matches on TV every week. So whenever I am blessed with an opportunity to have a match in the WWE ring, I treat it like my life is on the line. I take big risks, I maximize my minutes, and I put all my energy into every choice I make. And I think about my dad's words before all my matches now too. Many things are out of my control, but the one thing I can control is my effort. So I will always give 100%. And all I can hope is that eventually people will recognize it and respect me for it. Next time you see Joaquin Wilde in a match, are you not going to be thinking about that? Because I know I will. And that does a lot, doesn't it? That really makes you feel a connection with him. You understand the hardship that he's been through. You understand that he's not just fighting for himself. He's trying to do his dad proud. I think the story about not having heard his voice, not maybe feeling strong enough to do it or whatever reason, but then getting to a point where you feel, I have to, I should. And then doing that and obviously getting upset as you, of course, would. Yeah, I mean, very powerful stuff that. That is not, I'm so blessed to be in WWE. It is kind of that. But there was so much more to it than that. And yeah, amazing. Just amazing. So yeah, Wrestle Night, thank you. I thought that was incredible. And it will certainly make me think of that next time I see him. Vertebreaker, shout out to you. Just saying that Sammy is taking in the Detroit Red Wings against the Montreal Canadiens game. Then I think these are from yesterday, are they not? Oh, it looks like I've been a boomer and just added things to an old folder. But yeah, all of those were new. Let's go community. So Raymond, congrats getting a repost from Cathy Kelley. Dexter getting some cards, including an upside down JD McDonough. Very nice. And getting some, oh, that's nice. That's a nice legend one of Brett. So there we go. These reflector cards, are they called? So we've got some reflectors. I really like the auto. So yeah, very good. Edwards got some follows. I think we've got the Brooklyn. Is that the Brooklyn Brawler? Yes. Brooklyn Brawler, John Cena, Sergeant Slaughter. Just some of the people that follow Edward. Dexter getting a like from Nikita Lyons. Congrats. Babs the Barbarian said it's finally arrived. Pre-ordered this in November. It got pushed back for months. But this is a really nice Vampiro figure. So there we go. I don't normally include non-WWE stuff, but it's Babs the Barbarian who has shown a lot of support, so I am showing support back. So there is Legends of Lucha Libre. And as well as that, Wild Child Billy, shout out to you, getting a follow from Alicia Taylor. Okay, let's get to thanks and let's get out of here. So, Erase Your Mind, thank you, my friends. Larry, shout out to you. Alfie, Huddle Talk, Bradley, Ajax, Jimmy, Robin, I Am the Color Red, Big Bam, CM Chunk, World Hardcore Wrestling, Prain User Sports, Sweet Chin Wrestling, Wild Child Billy, Little Bit of a Fan, Las Vegas Mats, Little Bit of a Fan, OTC, Claire Webb, Jang Tae Sang, Babs the Barbarian, Wrestling Podcast, Tajinder, Raymond, Real Wrestling Fan, and Wrestling's Biggest Fan. Big thank you to you guys and everyone that supports this video series. You know it's so appreciated. And yeah, we'll be back again with another episode tomorrow. Bye for now.